welcome to Episode 6 of 12 Days of Workforce Wisdom, Reflections, Realities, Resets to Wrap 2025, Empower 2026. Today's return guest is someone that you should all be familiar with because they are a Trap Chat, what's the right word? Veteran. There you go. Champion. And co-host at times as well. One of the few people that I do let interview me instead of me being on the other side. My dear Tiffers, y'all will know her as Tiffany Toussaint. She is a TA leader coming out of Minnesota. I hope I said that right. And for whatever reason, she believes Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Hi, Tiff. Welcome back.
Hello, KG.
I see your stocking hanging behind you with care. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate it. All right, let's jump right in with the reflections. Reflecting on 2025, what shifts in talent acquisitions stood out to you the most?
I think the one thing that I noticed is just the adaptability and the agility of talent acquisition as we're talking across, the globe basically about generative AI, AI in general, and just how many recruiters were able to pick it up and incorporate it or integrate it into processes. AI is it's Gen X. It's been around as long as I have, and we're just now talking about it in a different way. But I think that recruiters, historically are probably pretty agile and really quick to pick up on things, especially if it's going to make our jobs easier and it's going to enhance the candidate experience. And there are, pros and cons with AI, just like anything else. But I think the one thing that kind of stands out to me is how a lot of TA professionals have professionally incorporated it. And I use it professionally, intentionally, because it's been used, like I said, to enhance the work that they're doing and how we are interacting with candidates.
I like this for us. I mean, you and I have these conversations all the time when you're talking about what we're doing with it, what we're doing with it for ourselves. A lot of times we're given tools. Like we're not able to be there, but when it comes to which AI tools you use and what you use them for, how they're going to support you, it's up to the recruiter. So I love that. Oh, look at you. You're showing out today. You are showing out. You got your Trap Recruiter mug. This is why you need to have friends, because they will always.
I told you, I'm a champion.
You are a champion. Okay, next question. When you're finished. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
As both a TA leader and a job seeker looking for your next best role, what surprises you the most about the hiring process from the other side, so to speak? And are there any moments that have reshaped how you think about candidate experience or even recruiter empathy?
There's a lot there. One of the things that stands out to me, and anytime I go through the process as a candidate, this kind of stands out, and I take my experience and then try to incorporate it into the process when I'm in a position to influence how an internal process is managed, enhanced, changed. But it's the communications that organizations, recruiters, hiring leaders, HR business partners deploy when interacting with candidates. So increasingly, especially, the last 10, 15, 20 years, the messages are automated. So we submit our application through an applicant tracking system. We get the automated thank you or the automated messages sent out. And those communications matter. I don't think people really realize how important crafting those messages to either align with your organization's culture and brand, but also to communicate an effective message to candidates. Like, as a candidate, we or you are taking the time and energy to research the organization, apply. And if we don't have our applicant tracking system set up in a manner where resumes are parsed and, we're not duplicating our efforts, we're impacting negatively that candidate experience. But what I've seen are a myriad of messages that I, as a TA leader or a recruiter, would definitely not use. And then on the flip side, things that I will pull from those messages to incorporate into future messages to enhance, like I said, that candidate experience. How are we taking care and showing that we care and being human about the recruiting and selection process? So there's the candidate communication side. There's also just the inundation of candidates, the influx with, and we'll talk about this in just a minute, but with the influx of people in the market, not of their own doing, we are seeing an employer-driven market where there are just thousands upon thousands of candidates, and it's nearly impossible to stand out. You see all these quote unquote influencers talking about what you should be doing as a candidate to stand out. I don't know that that's possible in a market like this. When you have, a job that gets posted and 2 hours later, there are over 100 applicants. It's just, you can't.
Yeah.
So it really is tough. So surprising is the lack of care that organizations are showing. Maybe not surprising, but more disappointment. That's the most mom thing I'm going to say. But I'm really not surprised. I'm just really disappointed in you. So disappointed in you. But that empathy I'll take back into whatever I do next. It's helping organizations put that human element into their process.
Okay. I like that. And you know what? Everything you just said, these messages that I know it saves time.
Yes.
I know it saves time, but we got to stop some of the automation. We got to pull back.
Yes.
On some of the automation, because candidates start to feel like they're not interacting with a human being until they get to an interview. And that's a conversation for another time. So I think it's going to take a little bit more deep diving than we have time for right now. And I'm sure people want to hear more about other things and not the woes of us, entitled, privileged recruiters who use the ATS robots to make their lives miserable.
But if we are going to use them, let's use them effectively. Let's not let candidates sit in this black hole. If we're going to automate our messages, let's figure out a way to do that at this, multiple steps along the way. Don't just, hey, thanks for applying, and then you vanish into the abyss.
And then 6 months later, you were not selected.
Yeah. Hey, the job was filled. Really?
Yeah. I was like, what job is this? That was 6 months ago. Yeah,
right.
I get you.
I've had 3 jobs since then. So, but thanks.
Jeez. I love that for you, by the way. I love that for you.
Right?
Yes. All right, let's go. You already touched on it, but let's shift to the realities. There are 1.1 plus million job cuts announced this year, and adding on AI-driven restructuring, reshaping roles across industries. What realities should job seekers and the TA pros supporting them understand about today's hiring landscape?
Yeah, that there, as you're talking about adding or building in more human interaction, that they can't expect that anymore. It's a reality. But if we are going to use the technology, let's use it effectively. Candidates need to know that they are not going to get a call every single time. Every application, they are not going to. And the number of times I've gotten emails or phone calls, messages, I've applied to X number of jobs and I've not gotten one call. And then when you look at the applications versus the jobs, there isn't alignment. So you have to, as a job seeker, set some realistic expectations for what you're capable of doing and what your experience is, and how it does or doesn't align to the opportunity in which you're interested. But I think the reality, whether a lot of us like it or not, is that there is automation, there is AI, there is technology that, when deployed right, in my opinion, it enhances and augments the process. But you're not going to get a call back with every single application you submit.
No.
On the internal side, or on the recruiter side, we need to be more thoughtful about how we are actually using that technology. So there are systems, which a lot of us recruiters know, where you can set up screening questions and you can have applications that are stack ranked. You know, if it is a must have that you have an IEEE, or you need to have a CPA, or, you know, there's a hard and fast requirement, it's a BFOQ, then add a screening question for that, and you're going to filter out or in the right candidates.
People. Absolutely. Love it.
Be smart. Be smart.
It sounds so simple, but I mean, some of it is, I always try to tap myself whenever anyone is like oversimplifying recruiting, because it's not simple and it's not, and it's not a straight line. But what you just said, like, it's that, like, some things are that simple and we need to call those out, and we need to employ enhancements for those things that are very simple. Like, as an old boss used to tell me, give me a hard problem. Like, come back. Like, don't come to me with everything. Like, come to me only with the hard problems. Nothing else.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Another reality from your vantage point, navigating the job market firsthand. What truths, or just one, if you don't want to go into multiple, do job seekers need to accept about the current job search process? So I do need you to give another one in addition to the one you just had about not expecting a call from every person. So I'm going to need one more. And then, what outdated advice or assumptions do you believe people should let go of?
So the outdated advice. So I actually had an exchange with multiple people on social media, which can be a trap, go down a rabbit hole. And I've seen other people, stop giving shitty advice to candidates.
Yes.
Just stop. And it's resumes. So references available upon request. Don't even bother including that. It's taking up real estate. You could be talking about other things. For your personal safety, do not include your address. And people will come back and say, well, how do I know if? Like, an address is not a job requirement. You don't know someone's personal circumstance. They could be in the process of relocating, a variety of things. You do not need to know where someone lives. It is not a requirement. Full stop. So stop telling people to put their address or their city
on their resume.
On their resume.
Yes.
But again, it's also for personal safety. So if your resume happens to end up on someone's desk and it gets floated around, someone sees your name, blah, 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 there are all sorts of things that can happen, the doxing, all of that stuff. But there's no reason, your LinkedIn URL, your phone number, your email address, that's really it as far as contact information. And then use the rest of that space to highlight your accomplishments, your achievements, what you're good at, what you want to be doing, those types of things. But you don't need your your contact, your full address on your resume.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Because this is, I think, another outdated one. I think it's going to help other people. Do I need to tailor my resume for every job?
Oh.
You're like, oh my gosh.
You know, I love this question because so many people provide this advice. I hate it. I hate it. Unless you are so detail oriented and obsessive compulsive about tracking which resume you sent to which employer to which job, and when you do get the call and you're interviewed, you have the same resume in front of you that the interviewers do. Like, if you want to do all, like, listen, job searching can be a full-time job.
Yes.
You do not want to add any unnecessary additional work to make it any harder than it already is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do it, maybe if you have two, and I'm either marketing or I'm sales.
Smart.
Yes. But if you're going to if you're going to take keywords out of every job description for job postings that you're applying to and infuse it into your resume and submit it, no, don't, no, nope, don't do it.
You heard it from a recruiter, a recruiting leader who looks at resumes for a living.
Well,
and we can tell when it's a copy and paste of our job description.
But it also increases the opportunity for you to have errors in your resume, and some people will sift those out. If you're in a communications role and you can't spell, or you've got sentences that are all janky, no one's going to want that.
And it doesn't differentiate you.
How are you going to say that on the job?
Well, listen, if everyone's tailoring their resume to the job, you're making it about the job and not about you as an individual. And all of your resumes look exactly the same. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So this is free job advice because it is the holiday giving season.
It is the season.
This was some lovely job advice from two experienced recruiters. Please take it with you. Please take it with you. Please take it with you. The end. All right, let's move on to resets. As we wrap 2025, what resets or intentional shifts do you think both job seekers and recruiters should make to stay grounded, strategic, and aligned with the job market? Ooh, I'm interested in this one.
Ooh, yeah. I think candidates in particular, but I think this with strong recruiters, this is just part of who we are and how we are wired. But candidates need to stay in tune with what's happening in the job market, so that you can understand what happens as you're going through your job search process. So if I know that there are over 1.1 million people out there, I can sit back and say, you know what? I know there's a lot of great talent out there. Maybe this job just wasn't for me. It's hard to not get frustrated when things are so when the market is so saturated with candidates and you're trying to find ways to stand out. But I think it's important for candidates, job seekers, to understand what is happening in the marketplace so you can understand why things are going the way they are for you, and know that it's not you. It really isn't about, it's not you. It's the market. It's the way things are set up right now, when every other headline is a large organization laying off masses of people. So understand, as candidates, understand the job market. For us in talent acquisition, as we're recruiting and we're working with hiring leaders, we're working with candidates and all sorts of partners throughout the organization and our third-party partners, I think it's important to remember that the people on the other side of this process are indeed that. They are people. So we have to figure out ways to be empathetic How are we communicating the process? How are we communicating where people stand throughout the process? Getting back to what I said earlier, what do our communications look like when, as a talent acquisition professional, a hiring leader, or a talent acquisition leader, when is the last time you went through your process? What does that look like? What does it feel like? How are you streamlining, continually improving the experience people have as they go through your process? So that can really ground a person. Like
Absolutely.
you go through the process, you get into an organization, and then you forget about all of the hoops that you had to jump through in order to get there. Maybe it's once a year, maybe it's every 2 years or every 3 years as you're going through and assessing the partnerships that you have. Maybe your software as a service contract is up, you're assessing that. Assess your recruiting process too.
I love that.
What's going on? What is it that we are asking candidates to do? I think it's so important. If I as a TA leader own that process, I should understand what it's like to go through that process.
Absolutely. All right, one more, and then we're going to move on to the Festivus for the rest of us as we power into 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I need another piece of year-end wisdom, because you've given a lot, to offer to job seekers to help them stay confident, stay marketable, and resilient in a constantly changing hiring landscape.
So we said it earlier, job seeking, looking for a job can be a full-time job. So when you think about when you're in your job, are you heads down, elbows up, grinding out work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.? Or are you stopping to take a break? Are you getting coffee? Are you getting lunch? Are you getting up and walking around? Where I'm going with this is job seeking is difficult. Give yourself time to breathe, rest, relax, take breaks, set goals, build yourself a strategy for how you're going about doing your job search. Organizations have strategies. What is it that, what kind of work are they going to accept? Do the same for yourself. What kind of jobs are you going to target? What type of work, what type of organization will you accept? How does that align with who you are as a person? So, build that job search strategy. Also, give yourself the opportunity to rest and take breaks, because you could be out there surfing on all the socials and seeing these people, I got this job, and get to the point where you're feeling really defeated. So you need to step away, give your brain a break, give your mental health a break.
Absolutely. I love it. You always bring the heat. You always bring the good advice. I love it. And I love that you keep using my cup. Actually, let me calm down, because I don't want people to think I'm a thug in real life. So I don't want people to think that I'm like all soft and chilly. All right. Holiday. Your favorite holiday tradition?
So there are two things.
Okay.
One is, and they're both in my house, Christmas morning. So my son and I do a scavenger hunt. So I hide all of his presents around the house, and he's 19. We still do it. Hide all of his presents around the house. He gets clues, and he has to go around the house to try to find where all his things are. So that is one. And then the other is, once we're done at my house, we go to my parents' house and we have seafood.
Nice. I love it. That's that Louisiana coming out.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Do you set New Year's resolutions? And if so, do you have one you'd like to share for 2026?
I do not set resolutions. So,
no one does. That was like the worst question I could have asked everyone. Like, no one's.
But here's what I do. So, I appreciate when people do, and what I'm interested in is when people do, how are they holding themselves accountable for that resolution? Anyway, that aside, my new year, my personal new year starts in March because that's when my birthday is. So,
Okay.
But what I do for the calendar year is I identify a word. So I have a word of the year. And what I do with that is I'll either, I'll write it out somewhere, I'll create a picture of it, and I will use that as a means to help me focus.
Okay.
So as I'm, going through different, life situations, I will remind myself of that word. Like for 2025, my word is intent.
Yeah.
What is my intent? What is the other person's intent? Did they mean to hurt my feelings, or was it just me being a Pisces and being too sensitive? What was the intent behind whatever, or being intentional about how I move, how I act, how I operate, how I care for people around me. So I really focus on a word to help guide me throughout the year.
Okay. Do you have your word for 2026
Not
yet?
yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet. I have a list. I'm going to narrow it down, but
All right. I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you on.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm going to bully you the way Christina Minier bullied me
Okay.
offline. She bullied me offline. She bullied me
off.
That.
She's good at
what, bullying?
People.
Yeah. It's like, you know what happens when you bring the millennial into the group chat, No, I'm teasing. Don't talk bad about Christina. Like,
I will come after you. I will come after you. I don't care who you are.
Correct.
Come after you. Don't hurt my girl.
No, do not. Okay. So, that's the end of our show. But you might see Tiff again. Who knows? But I hope to see you again, all of you, on the next episode of 12 Days of Workforce Wisdom. We got a lot more to get through. As you can see, we're talking from the perspective of the law. We're talking DEI. We're talking TA. We're talking job seeking. We're talking wellness. Ooh, we got a lot. And we're talking AI. Some of us are not. Some of us are. Some of us are indifferent, and some of us love it. But make sure you come back for the next episode. Much more insight, much more reflections, realities, and resets. See you soon.